Sunday, happy afternoon, happy spring. Don't feel like
How
spring.
are you ladies doing today?
I'm doing really good.
Everybody's blessed.
Yeah, blessed and blessed and feeling great, and that's important. Everybody in the family doing well. I hope everybody in your family is doing well too. I don't know why I always start
Yeah.
off like that. It's like I ain't saw y'all in months, but you know,
Mhm.
just want to let
Yeah.
out a little pleasure conversation.
Mhm.
All right, so we just gonna get right to this one because I think this is more serious than it's not. We probably can put our little spin on it. Everybody have their own thought on where do you think this country is going to be in the next 5 years? Because there's a lot going on. Even if we choose not to be a part of it, it's still a lot going on in not just the country, but things that are going on impacts our country and in the world events. Of course, it's going to impact the United States because we are a dominant force, But when you get down to the minuscule levels of like locally, you know what I mean, things in your area that's going on, even just, the cost of living, you know what I mean, is something to give you pause about. So, I see a lot of podcasters right now talking about this. That's why I wanted to bring it to the porch because I think that we are a driving force out here and we have to express what we think um the country is going towards and what can we do to make it better for our kids and our grandkids and their kids and so on and so on, because the thought is that Jesus is not planning to come in the next 5 years because we wouldn't know that. But if we listen to what some people are saying, and we're dealing with an eclipse and stuff like this, and all these signs, because the last thing you want to do is kind of judge where God is coming and going. We just believe He is coming back, and but we can't go by what's going on in the world because if you think about it, there's always been bad times somewhere, somehow, something's going on. It's
Mhm.
not good. You know what I mean? But so let's talk about what do you think? I think in the next 5 years, I think that it's going to be a lot of things happening in our country where I think that young people are going to be stepping up a lot. You know what I mean? And letting their voices be heard. I think that the United States will be at a crossroad where it won't be, this is just my opinion, y'all, that parties won't matter because I think we're going to start to break away from parties. I see it more and more because one party may seem like extreme, one party may not seem like they're doing enough. And then there's a third party sitting out here waiting to be, elevated to hear everybody's needs because we are the people that put people where they are. So that's my thought. I
Mhm.
think that young people are not going to be docile or remiss to let them know what they need out of this country. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion. Who's next?
Well, I think that um the country, well, I hope that the country is doing well. I think that the country, or my hope is for the country to kind of course correct, because I see that there are two different polarizing sides that's greatly dividing us in a lot of areas that we need to come together, which
Mhm.
is making things, I don't want to be pessimistic, but not so great when it comes to politics. However, I see a brighter side when it comes to
Mhm.
the technology that we're having, the gains that we're making, um, just new things that are popping up that could help us be beneficial to us. I think that's going great. I hope that we are still a superpower. I'm noticing that our word is not um taken as it used to be when I was growing up. When the United States asked other countries to do things, they kind of fall in line, which now other countries are becoming. Um, they have more because we become a consuming nation and not a producing nation.
Mhm.
So that means we depend on everybody. So, you
Mhm.
know,
That's a good
I
one.
see that. I see that as something bad. So I'm kind of all over the place with it. But my hope is in 5 years that we will kind of hopefully get ourselves together um, to be better for everyone. In
Mhm.
short answer.
Mhm. You're so inspiring. Because I don't see any of that. And I needed to hear that because I see that with this next presidency, it's going to be a mess either way. I see that, and I love our young people. They're so strong-minded that sometimes they're just going at it and not thinking about maybe what might happen as a contributor of what they do. I see the population being much older because the young folks are not having babies. So I see more heavy top of older people versus younger people. I see less skilled people in the field of fix and plumb and all this stuff, and all the old heads dying off. I just see it's going to be so different. It's going to be them taking care of us in medical field. Most of them don't even want to go to the medical field. Like, who's going to be the doctors? My doctors are retiring, and I'm going, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do?
I know.
The knowledge is dying off. The skills are dying off. It makes me a little nervous. I mean, and you got more apartments. There's less homeowners. There's less people invested, if that makes sense. They're hopping all around. No, there's no one place that I'm not saying all of them, what I've been seeing. When you got your house, you on that block for 30 years. You come back, Susan's still down the block, and Mary's down the block. Now the apartments it's just so much different, and it makes me nervous to know it's just going to be all over the place. That's how I feel.
Tell them how it is.
That's just how I feel.
I know, girl. That's you hit on point, Chauncey.
I see chaos. I see chaos coming before solutions coming. And I'm not sure if that's in the next 5 years, but it's certainly coming. And similar to what Celeste was saying about the young people being strong-minded and knowing what they want. They know they don't want to work for anyone. They all want to work for themselves. And I get that, and I understand that. And I understand your strong point of views. I too have strong point of views, but there has to be some sort of compromise somewhere. Even when I hear them talking about Biden and they don't agree with how he's handling things in the Middle East or his portion thereof and his influence, then at the end of the day, I'm not voting for him. Are you not voting for him in the primaries to show, solidarity and, what you feel? Or are you not going to vote for him in the general election, which could really put us in a bad place and still not get what it is that you want about that one thing and not looking at the overall picture? And so it's hard, right? Because no one is always right. And y'all know my saying, even a broke clock is right twice a day. So somebody has something to give, something to say, something to share. What do we draw from that? So I hope, like Keisha, that we're looking at either self-correcting and just take a self-evaluation. Regardless of the party, because all the parties that we have are still split within the parties. How we handle things, how we do things, who we're looking at towards leadership or whatever the case may be. Young people, like Celeste said, aren't going into the medical field the way that they used to be. And, but they're also not going into the political arena. They got a lot of political views, but they're not going to Congress. They're not going to Senate so that they can help flush out the old thoughts and the old mindset. So we all have all these opinions, but what are you doing? And then what are you doing on a local level? We all need to be more involved in our local politics, which will help feed into our state politics and our national politics. But everyone has an opinion, but no one's doing the work. And I know from a biblical perspective, it says, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. And we are fighting over what? There's never going to be any more land. There's no more land coming. We might knock a building down and erect a new building, but we sure ain't getting no more land. The land is the land. And so we're fighting over that, right? Worldwide, globally, we're fighting over land that already exists. Who owns what and who has this and who's got control of this? So I just hope and I pray that we come through the chaos that's going to come and we come out stronger on the other side. But to do that, we have to be self-reflective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can tell you why I mentioned and again young people because it's a hope. It really is a hope. Um, and like Celeste said, I'm really concerned that the family, the family structure, especially when it comes down to younger people, is not something that's at the top of the leaderboard. You know what I mean? It's like being an individual is okay, but um making yourself an individual is not. You see what I'm saying? Because you kind of exclude so many other things that I'll especially speak for people of color. I think that the sooner, and maybe this is just a wish, the sooner we get back to that family dynamic, the better. You know what I mean? Because like you said, Chauncey, um, you have a lot of opinions, but if you don't have solutions behind opinions and your thoughts of correcting it or making a change to it, it's just an opinion. You know what I mean? It's just an
Or somebody,
Right. That's true.
it's just an opinion. So when I agree with you, Chauncey, like when I hear young folks complaining about the war in the Gaza area against Israel and the Palestinian people, I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm concerned because it's genocide going on there. You know what I mean? But I'm not fooled to think that Joe Biden can fix that completely. It's got to be where's the UN?
mhm,
Get those people over there and find out why these people are dying like that. You know what I mean? But hell, y'all look at Haiti. Nobody mentions Haiti. They don't even have a government.
mhm,
You know what I mean? So I'm
mhm,
just a little
Right.
concerned that when we choose our battles, you know what I mean, that the battle automatically takes me out. You know what I mean? And everybody got to put something in down to the local level because as we know, it starts at the local level and then it
it
builds
does.
up. You know what I mean? It builds
Mhm.
up. So why we think the president is a cure all to all it blows my mind. You know what I mean? When you see your local legislators putting in some crazy stuff that you just didn't vote on, you just overlooked, and you just went to say the president did all this. But then we pick and choose what president does this and that because when
Right.
a crazy president is up in there doing things that is only helping the upper echelon. No, everybody's sitting back and thinking, well, we're just gonna wait to the next election. No, no. Why are we in a time where a president can even do crimes and it's considered? I
Girl,
mean,
I can't understand.
Yeah, that's unreal.
I can't understand.
Let's not go. Let's
I'm
not go there. But yeah, that's
confused.
unreal.
Yeah, like, but
And
you
then
know what?
we're put in the position where we make excuses for everything, or we can make concessions, and then who decides what concessions are good enough, right? But you're fighting to the death for something wrong, and I think that that's the part that I can't rock with, right? These other politicians that are encouraging to just do crazy stuff, like, or just to say whatever, and you think, oh, they're just saying that they're really not going to do it. Do you
Uh,
really truly
Mhm.
believe that? Are you in some sort of alternate universe where it that's the part that, and so party lines are not that important, that you're selling your soul. And I think that President Biden has said it correctly. We're fighting for the soul of America. You're
Yes, I
fighting for
agree.
the soul of the people. And so, but the thing is, are you listening to the people? And so you can't do everything, but you can start somewhere and you can begin. Let me try. Let me hear what they're saying. So because, or let me listen to what they're saying, right? Because people are hearing all the time, but ain't nobody listening. And
nobody.
so that the scariest part, and when we look at the family structure, Kimmy, you hit the nail on the head when you said, but we have to start with our families. Are we having conversations with our children about what it is, what old age looks like, because it's going to look different for each of us, and
Mhm.
what's going to happen to you? Are you going to be the one to care for me? Do you not want your children to care for you? It's not that you don't love them, but if you see them now and all that they have going on, do you really want them caring for you if something were to happen to you? And sometimes things are happening sooner rather than later.
Mhm.
So we're assuming that we're talking about 75 and they're going to care for us. All it takes is one medical incident and they could be caring for us tomorrow.
Right.
And the thing is, do you have the kind of relationship? Sometimes kids respect their parents, but that doesn't mean they're going to care for them, because caring for them is different than loving them. And so who's going to care for us as we age? Are they watching us care for our parents, or are they watching us complain about our parents and keeping them at a distance? Because if they emulate what we do and not what we say, they may not be taking care of us, right? Because if we're not taking care of our own parents, why would they take care of us? So it starts at home. It just is really that simple, right? What does your family see you doing? What do my grandchildren and my children see me doing? What do they see me giving back? How do they see me giving back? And prayerfully, they will, try to do the same if I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that we can't really touch all the arms on this episode. You know what I mean? It's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. But I will say this again, I will repeat this and we can give final thoughts. Make sure you start in your household. You know what I mean? Like crime and stuff, when people are doing crimes and stuff like that, these young people out here, and I can say I live in the metropolitan area, and I'm telling you, a lot of this is like, did you even know what your child was doing? You know what I mean? Like how we take our hands off our kids, you know what I mean? And just let them become what they want to become, on their own accord. But that's just that, start there, because once your child get in the system, you know what I mean, then don't complain when you have to follow what the system is giving you. You see what I'm saying? So I hope anybody listening, if you having a problem with your kid, look out look to your neighbor, get some resources, do something, you know what I mean? But don't sit quietly back and then it falls all apart, you know what I mean? Because that all plays into where this country is going. You know what I mean? We have to police our own, you know what I mean? We have to make sure we're educating our own. And I'm not just talking about pushing your kid to go to college, because guess what? College might not be for them. There's all these trades out here that's, like you said, Celeste, it's being overlooked because we need to follow the status quo. And guess what? That's why that one plumber is paying court charging $800 an hour, because he's only one of seven. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because we
yeah,
done
that
overlooked
too.
all that. You see what I'm saying? We overlooked all that. Technology. Please don't fall asleep on technology. You know what I mean? You're not going to get away from it. So learn everything you can. So guess what? When these people that are sitting in these leadership roles, I'll say this, leadership roles, and they are not doing what they're supposed to do, then we have all authority and access to remove them. You know what I mean? To remove them. Because I'm not going to say I want this 75-year-old dude up in Congress to be the detriment of me. You know what I mean? Or this crazy loon wench up in Congress saying some crazy ass mess that you like, what are the hell you talking about? That don't got nothing to do with me, but you are in a position that it affects me. So if it affects me, then we have to speak up and do something about these people that are driving the course for the next 5 years. So final thoughts, Celeste?
I think what we need to focus on as a nation, we need to be more educated. We need to start being more conscious of our food, growing our own food, healing our own bodies, doing our own research, because otherwise, since that individuality is being kind of spread all over the world while young folks, we're going to have to be really good at it, because the food is killing us, because the dementia's taking over, because the cancers. I mean, we have got to be a little bit more diligent in taking care of ourselves. Like the days of somebody taking care of that and being the expert and you just go there and get help is gone.
Yep.
Like we got to help. Got to help ourselves.
Yep. Keisha.
I think that we should continue to be more knowledgeable. I think we should continue to be involved wherever, whether it's in politics or whatever that is affecting us. I think we should still teach and our younger people and make sure that they are aware. And I'm also going to keep hope. Keep hope in the place that you're living in, because you just got to have that. So I'm going to keep my optimistic view.
That's right.
Even though I agree with Chauncey about chaos before solution, but yeah, we gotta keep our optimistic view.
Chauncey?
Keisha, I've always been a very optimistic person. I have been. Um, but at the same time, always a realist,
Mhm,
And so I think that terminology used before about chickens coming home to roost.
mhm,
And so I think that so much of what we've had our hands involved in, as a society is going to come back to us, right? And so I think that the reset that you spoke about before, I think again starts at home. Kimmy made a valid point about knowing where your children are. Kids that are into some of the things that they're into, and we're saying they don't have any place to go or anywhere to put that energy or whatever the case may be, but they still have to go somewhere to go to sleep at night. Where are they going to go to sleep? And then who's making sure that they are where they are and doing what they're supposed to do? Now we know that we've always had young mothers and young parents and stuff like that. That's something that hasn't changed in generations, but the accountability factor has changed. If you're getting high with your kids and you think it's okay, and so then it just leads to this and that and more things and more things and more things. So like where do we draw the line? When do you become the parent, not their friend? When do you put your foot down? These kids are going out here shooting each other. Whatever. Again, where are they going to lay down at night? You're carrying a gun in and out of the house and your mother doesn't know it. Parents don't know it. Like nobody's going through drawers anymore. We're so afraid of of them not having privacy. You don't get no privacy. You live in my house. You gotta follow the rules. You gotta do the right thing. And I don't know what's coming in and out of my house. Like I just that part I can't seem to understand. And so they're starting to hold parents accountable. This young man who went out here and killed these people, they sentence his parents. If they start sentencing the rest of us, things will start to change. We will see a change. So be that change. Be the change that you want to see. Start at home, start with yours, start with those that are around you. And let's become more community minded again and really, foster a change that we deserve.
All right. Great episode, ladies. So joining me tonight is
It's your girl Celeste, and I normally would say take care of oneself, but take care of each other. Take care of each other. We're in this together.
absolutely.
And it's Chauncey. Do all the good that you can for as long as you can.
and this is Keisha. Grow and learn every day.
All right, ladies. Well, have a wonderful week on purpose, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Take care.